Ahoy folks, back again, and we're taking a look at some more pre-day one Arbites builds. So, weapon's going to be same as the last build because honestly I want to try out the new Arbites weapons. They look cool. So it's going to be the Branks Mark III Shockmaul and the Execution Mark VII Shotgun. Modifiers are going to be Penetration, lol, Finesse, Crowd Control and Damage. Mobility is the dump stat. I'm not going to keep saying it's because I hate mobility on the stat. It's a stupid stat. Executioner Shotgun, going to be the same. Ammo, Stopping Power, Stability and Damage, all at 80, and Mobility at 60. For the perks, we're going with Carapace and Flak, because Flak's the most prevalent armor type in the game, and Carapace is going to help us bully the Ogrins. As for the blessings, we're going with Execution and High Voltage still, because we do a hell of a lot of stagger, and also we're going to be taking advantage of one of the grenades to give us more electrocution. For the shotgun, Maniacs and Unyielding. Maniacs because they're irritating, and being able to shoot them square in the face and know that they're going to be dead is always a good thing. And Unyielding, it's going to help us against those bigger targets that we can't get up and close to. For the blessings, we're going with Full Bore and Sustained Fire. 20% strength for 5 seconds when every pellet in the shot hits the same enemy. Sustained Fire, 20% damage on second, third and fourth shot in a salvo. So that's really going to help us make sure that target is very, very dead. As for the curios, same as the last time, this is the Ogryn setup that I usually go for. 2 toughness, 1 health, with max toughness across the board, damage resist to gunners and damage resist to snipers on 1, with toughness regeneration, and 1 with stamina regeneration. As I said in the last video, we don't know until we've actually tested these properly whether it's going to be overkill on the toughness, or whether we need to add a little bit more stamina in there. So this is a very broad, we know this works, use it, and we will, change it as time goes on. For example, we may decide that we have to change this and add in a stamina regen, or God forbid we change this to a max stamina. Oh, that would annoy everyone. So, you know what I mean. Let's have a look at the talents. This is going to be different from the last tree. We're starting off here with No Escape, damage, and 10% damage, 10% movement speed on elite or specialist kill. Razor Jaw Augment. Enemies knocked away by your Cyber Mastiff's pounce have 8 stacks of bleed applied to them. Bleed is always very powerful, and it hasn't been changed in this patch. Close Up, replenish 5% toughness on close kill. Walk it off, spend 1 stamina, replenish 15% toughness over 3 seconds. And then we're picking up Remote Detonation. That causes an explosion at your Cyber Mastiff's location, staggering and electrocuting nearby enemies. 3 charges, 1 minute cooldown. As I said, it's going to take advantage of the electrocution that we can do. And then into Arbitrator Armor for toughness, and then down into Concussive, melee weak spot hits make the enemy count as staggered for 4 seconds. Then into Suppression of Force, staggering enemy makes them deal minus 20% damage, lasts 5 seconds. Breaking Descent. Unit allies incoherency deal additional 10% damage versus staggered. You're basically going to be staggering everything, so this is just free damage. Plasteel, 25% toughness, and then we're trying out Go Get 'em. Your Cyber Mastiff prioritizes ranged enemies and deals 50% damage to them, so this is going to help you deal with gunners. Impact Boost for 25% impact, and then into Break the Line. Step forward and bash. I mean, who doesn't like stepping forward and bashing things? Basically, this is Sparta. Step forward and bash, causing high stagger to enemies in front of you and gain plus 25% damage and 50% impact for 6 seconds. Base cooldown is 20 seconds. Commendation from Condemnation. Replenish 20% toughness and 15% stamina for each elite specialist or monstrosity hit, up to 100% toughness and 75% stamina. Targeted Brutality, restore 0.5% ability cooldown for each hit, increased to 1 on elite, specialist or monstrosity, 5 max cooldown restored. And then Kill Order, plus 50% damage for your Cyber Mastiff for 12 seconds after using your combat ability. Good doggy. Hold the line, staggering an enemy grants 1 stack of plus 3% damage resistance on the next melee hit, taken stacking 5 times, staggering non-human sized enemies, grants 5 stacks. Emperor's Fist, plus 15% melee damage and 30% impact on first enemy hit with an attack. Drive them back, pushing grants 75% cleave. Weight of the Lex, gain plus 15% damage and 5 seconds after heavy melee attack. And strike down, plus 15% melee rending on staggered enemies. And then into the middle, justified measures, plus 3% damage on successful attack. 5 max stacks last 5 seconds. And then into street smarts, gain 1% effective dodge and 25% dodge duration. And then into monstrosity hunter, plus 20% damage to ogrins and monstrosities. Over here on the left, Arbites revelatum, 15% damage for 3 seconds after successful dodge. Zealous dedication, 2% critical strike chance on kill, 8 stacks, lasts 10 seconds. And then into execution order. Periodically mark elites, specials and bosses for mercy sanctions. Killing a marked enemy replenishes 15% toughness. Your cyber mastiff gains 100% cyber mastiff damage, the best kind of damage. 8 seconds after attacking a marked enemy, you gain 15% damage and 10% attack speed for 8 seconds after killing a marked enemy. Then into Malachator, 50% cooldown regeneration for 8 seconds after marked kill. And then into Keeping Protocol. Killing a marked enemy grants 1% damage versus monstrosities and 1% damage resistance versus monstrosities. 30 maximum stacks, last until the end of the mission, and that's a pretty sexy buff. So there we have it, folks. Another pre-day one build to wrap your noggins around. As I said in the last video, and I'll say it again in this video, these builds have not been thoroughly tested because we haven't got our hands on the patch yet. But this should work for you straight out the box and give you some pretty decent day one, minute one release killing. So if you've enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you try out the build on Monday and see how it goes. If you haven't already, please do ring that notification bell because it really does help out the channel. I shall see you all for the next one. Until then, take it easy, and I shall see you later.